Hey guys, and welcome to Epileptics 1. Now, today we're going to be talking about temporal lobe epilepsy. And now I know you're going to think, well, oh god, here we go again. Same thing as last time. Wait, don't go. It's not the same thing. We have someone's actual experience. Now, he's given me his whole, basically, life story on it. Now, he has asked me not to give his name out. Now, I'm going to respect that. But his YouTube account name is Interactive Systems. Now that will be in the description, okay? And the link will be there as well. But it is pretty horrific. Now, I know it's a bit weird for me to be doing it on a bed, but I can't really walk properly at the moment and everything. I've kind of got a bad leg and everything. I've had it for quite a while actually, and I'm also going to Leeds Festival as well, and I'm hoping it does kind of sort itself out a bit more before that. But you know, who knows? If it doesn't, I'm just gonna have to put up with it. But yes, I am going to Leeds Festival on Wednesday. So if you're gonna comment and want your information airing, please comment on the videos or send me a personal message, and I'm more than happy to do it. But please do it before Monday night. Monday night, 7 o'clock. That is the deadline, I'm afraid. Any comments after Monday night at 7 o'clock can't accept, and they'll have to be done after Wednesday next week, I'm afraid. Wednesday in a week's time. Unfortunately, I can't do them until after that because I'm going to be getting ready and packing. There's loads of things to do. But we have quite a bit to talk about, you see. It's quite horrific, but you're gonna be quite shocked. And if you're interested in it and not just watching it to take the piss, then right. If you hear me clicking, it's because I'm reading it directly off of the screen. The reason being, it's because it's document because I've just copied it straight off of the personal message. I'd just like to say now, I have had to re-record this so many times because I have just gone wrong. There are so many words in this that I can't read. I am dyslexic. So if I stutter, I'm so sorry, okay? I don't know where to begin myself, and that's really that's what he says. But he didn't start talking till he was 4, and his first seizure began early, and that's basically what happens. Your first seizure does begin quite early. He remembers his first the odd simple seizure, and then the odd partial seizure. At 5, he was hallucinating his mother turning into pigs, and then 10, he thought his parents were imposters were big. Their heads were big, and grotesque, and that he thought they wore masks. Sometimes with epilepsy that can happen, but there was also other psychological effects, and that can happen. That's sometimes with psychological problems, it can also cause epilepsy. I thought I had macroscopia. All this time I thought were fainting spells and macroscopia, deja vu, panic attacks, etc. Once he had passed through puberty, it settled down a little. In my teen years, just a simple partial fits and fits in my sleep microscopia, etc. Orals. Also, I was unaware that TLE he attended an academy and selective schools. He was gifted in physics and art and music. He had a complex family life that was full of deaths, crimes, etc., which didn't obviously help what he'd gone through in his early life with the psychological effects. And hold on, I'll go down now. I thought these things happened when you fainted or were sick, etc. Everyone else was equally ignorant to my late teens. I began to suspect my bipolar. I was sent to a psychologist, etc., who was once against obliterated my problem to my environment. My anxiety worsened, and the rate of my complex partial increased. By the age of 20, I began having full-blown regular seizures. Experienced, e.g., a description I wrote once. I visited my parents, and halfway through dinner I began having a fit. A strong sense of deja vu came over me, gave way to a sense of fear which grew till I thought I was about to die. I kneeled over a table and saw a sort of prayer position of my prescription of the new. I was slowing down rapidly, and I no longer felt a connection with my body. And then it happened, and then transported to another world. It felt more real than this everyday world. Basically, it goes on. I'm going to put this in the description. Just that. It's a very long bit. It's all in capitals. What happened, but it goes on, and then when it comes down, the problem was I'm an atheist, and it's this, and these seem to be a near-death experience. The GP still had no clue what was going on. Eventually, a GP said, "I think you have epilepsy." I googled it and was great relief. It exactly matched my spells. First test negative in this time of relief diagnosis of bipolar 2. I had a bad run of fits. My mother took me to a hospital to get a Valium to stop the seizures instead of locking me in a mental home. So this reacted, unfortunate but understandable. This is not your garden variety hospital administration. This is a trainee neurologist on her first day. And in the deed, she also denied my request for an EEG. The bitch. The next EEG had recorded 3 seizures at a rate of 90 a year. The Epilin, Tegretol, Lectrum, Keppra, and I can't read that one unfortunately. I now take the latter 2 and have a relatively good seizure control, perhaps 22 simple partial a year, no complex ones, but I'm still bipolar and have some problems with anxiety. And basically, it just basically says he's basically now bipolar. He's still bipolar in that he's overcome his illnesses and that he's better. But basically, if he had found out about his epilepsy before, he would have become a lot better. And he's got damage now to his temporal lobe from having the amount of seizures that he did a day. You see, that's what we said in the last video. From having the amount of seizures, from having so many seizures a day, you can get damage to your brain. Right, same again for clicking. I'm reading this off a website now, the NSE, the National Society for Epilepsy. The reason being, you can't really get all, you can't really know all of the all of the epilepsy drugs up here unless you're a doctor. I only know a few because of what I've been on. But carbamazepine, tablet form only, and I'm only going to read a few out, by the way. Effective against generalized seizures, tonic-clonic seizure, partial seizure. Ineffective against absence seizures. Tegretol tablets, chewable, liquid, sugar-free, and solubles. Ineffective against absence and effective against generalized tonic-clonic and partial seizures. Let's go into the side. Lamotrigine, tablet form, effective against partial seizures, generalized and tonic-clonic. Levetiracetam, also known as Keppra, effective against partial seizures with or without secondary generalized, and also an add-on therapy for metaclonic seizures and generalized monoclonic epilepsy. And oxcarbazepine, also known as Trileptal, effective against partial seizures, generalized, secondary generalized seizures. Oh, and that's a tablet form only, oralized supplement. Sodium valproate, effective against generalized tonic-clonic seizures, partial seizures and absent seizures. Epilin, partial seizures and absent seizures. Frisium, effective against generalized tonic-clonic seizures and partial seizures. Nursium, recommended in partial seizures where previous treatments has not been effective. Topiramate, also known as Topiramax, recommended in partial seizures where previous treatments have not been effective. Topiramax is licensed for motor therapy but is not widely used in frontline drugs. I'm not going to read all of them out, there is quite a lot. Right, finally, I'm sorry the laptop keeps on going backwards and forwards, it's being a bit, the guy that we were talking about is, I'm not going to say his name, but the YouTube account is Interactive Systems. We have a YouTube group, a Facebook group called Epilepsy. Come on, join, guys. I know we have 30. We had 33 viewers last time I checked before I started recording this. Yeah. What else do we do? There's loads of things. Come on, get doing things. Yeah, and comments, stuff. If you want to personal message me to have a video done about you, do it, and I'll do one about you. If you don't want your name saying, then just put at the end. Can you just say my YouTube account name, please? And I'll just say YouTube account name. If you want your name saying, then say you can say my name if you want, and put your name at the bottom. Yeah. And there you go. But any other questions you've got, leave them on the comment section below, or video responses. And I will see you, if no one does anything, I will see you in a week's time. Right. See you later, guys. Bye.